our world, and it is a call to action for everyone to step up their online safety practices. Now, the Lagos State government is leaving no stone unturned in tackling cyber threats. Our guest is a member of the Lagos State Cyber Security Advisory Board, and he will shed light on how the state government is tackling the evolving landscape of cyber threats and, of course, implementing strategies to protect Lagosians and their businesses in the digital age. Welcome, Dr. Peter Obadari.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Mr. Dr. Obadari, could you give us an overview of the current cyber threats here in Lagos, and what are the most pressing cybersecurity challenges that are staring us in the face?
Okay, thank you very much for that great question. So first and foremost, I would like to say that in the bid to ensure safer Lagos, and what the Lagos State government has actually done, because in addition to, beyond the physical and environmental security, there's the cyberspace of Lagos State. So Lagos State, in one of its first response, became the first ever state in Nigeria to constitute the Cybersecurity Advisory Board, because the subject of cybersecurity, just like you said in your introduction, impacts on everyone. So the objective for Lagos State government in constituting this advisory board is to ensure safer Lagos in terms of the digital infrastructure of Lagos State, and then also to make sure that the citizens of Lagos State are actually adequately protected, on the internet and invariably the cyberspace. Because just like in the physical world, we have the criminals, we have the hoodlums, we have the armed robbers. Believe me sincerely, within the internet and on the cyberspace as well, we generally call them cyber criminals. But then you can call them digital thieves, digital pickpockets, digital armed robbers, all over the internet. And just like you said in your introduction, beyond just using social media, I think as long as you have a mobile phone, because guess what? Your mobile phone today, if you flash back 10 years ago, when computers were just coming in, today phones are like mini computers, because in those days, if you see a big computer with 1 gig RAM, you're like, oh, it must be a very big computer. But today, most of the mobile phone that we have, believe me, the RAMs, you have 12 gig, 4 gig. And so in a nutshell, believe me, this is like mini computer. Now, because now the same way you can use it for positive things, the same way for negative, just like a knife. A knife in the hand of a great woman can be used for slicing onions, cutting tomatoes, in the kitchen. But someone that is with ulterior motives, with negative and unscrupulous behavior can use the same knife to kill. That's the same way the internet is, because while we're using the internet for connecting, we're connecting our world. We're doing a lot of transactions, online payments, communication, a lot of things. Like as we're in the studio now, people are watching online. The same way the bad guys have taken over the internet as well. In fact, right now, according to the cybersecurity venture research, that the third biggest economy in the world, aside from the US, which is the biggest economy, so to say, and China, guess what the third biggest economy is? The cybercrime.
Cybercrime.
Cybercrime is the third biggest economy in the world. In fact, that research states that the world will lose up to $10.5 trillion to cybercrime. Yeah.
In a year?
Yeah. So by the year 2025. So, and there are different ways these losses will happen. And one of the most common one, honestly, that has been seen for ages and is being on is this concept of phishing, because most of the time, for everyone, most of the time you just get an email from someone to say you open this link, your bank has, but you'll be shocked that as we speak, people en masse are still falling for it. And then, of course, that threat has evolved over time. Beyond just sending you a link, it's not coming on our WhatsApp. So, in fact, I think every week I get a request from someone that I know that, see, my WhatsApp
has
been hacked.
Yeah, Dr. Bada, a valid point. I'm sorry to cut you, but so that we don't lose this thought, valid point you've raised here, and the fact that the theme for this year is Secure a World, meaning that there is a huge awareness going on, and we need to be aware of these things. And so you've raised phishing as one of the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Now, I know that we've always talked about things to look out for, things that would always give these guys away. Usually when you're observant, when you're careful, there's usually something that is wrong in a particular link or in a website. And so can you point a few of those things out if you get a link, especially those who are in a group? It happens often, most times, when that group is compromised, and then you have people reach out to you. There's a meeting, click a link, there's this. So if you get a link or you get something that you're not sure about, what should you look out for?
Great, fantastic question. I think for everyone, male, female, young, old, we need to build what I call cybersecurity intelligent quotient. Just like, you know, those days when people were mismanaging their money and they were saying we need to have financial intelligent quotient, they talk about emotional. So for digital space now, and how do you build your cybersecurity intelligent quotient? In fact, I'll use the word just slam it, because when you get it, slam it, and I'm going to, it's an acronym.
Okay.
So slam it means, number one, how do you know this is, and it's not limited to phishing alone, even voice, they use voice now.
Yes,
so they call vishing, phishing, you know, smishing, because they send SMS too, so that so any one of them, just use that concept, slamming. Slamming means, number one, hence is, you need to know the sender address.
Okay.
Any address that you are not sure of, don't bother to, you know, because sometimes when you get, you know, so that means that awareness that you need to know the origin of the address.
Okay.
If it is not, if it is from your bank, you should be able to know GT Bank. What's the, you know, I'm just giving an example.
Right.
If it's from Lagos State, it's from Access Bank, from any bank, just check that you know that you can identify the origination of the address. And the hell is, that link, that address, just check through. You know, don't ever click on a link that you are not sure of.
Okay.
You know, because they said curiosity kills the cat. Don't be too curious. Do you understand? So it starts from finding out the originated address, the sender address, and then, of course, the links is very important, you know, because in most of those links are those unscrupulous addresses that if you click on them, they will then be asked you, because when you click on those links, interestingly, guess what? They will ask you to put in your username, your password, your PIN. In fact, it's like they are taking over your entire life. So now the question is, any link that is asking you to,
you should be careful.
You should. It is to tell you that this is something that you should be wary of, honestly, because no bank or no organization will ask you.
Even the banks will tell you that we will not authorize.
Yeah, to ask you. You understand? But and then the A is attachment. Don't ever open an attachment. You know, we are talking about slam. So don't ever open an attachment that you don't know the origin. Don't be too curious. Don't bother. Just, you know, don't even think about it, because because beyond phishing, what they're not doing again is, if you click on such attachment, you can be ransomed. There's another attack called ransomware. Right. So when you open such an attachment and you don't have the right controls, ransomware is synonymous to digital kidnapping.
So they just take over your
They took over your account, your system, and everything, and then they'll be asking you for ransom. So don't. And the M is, always check the message. Always check the message. So what does that mean? Any message that translates to, I'm going to say another acronyms now, that translates to FUD, F-U-D. Don't ever, just ignore it. And what is FUD? Fear, uncertainty, and doubts. So yeah, any message, because those messages come, oh, your bank is trying to close your account now. It is a lie. You know, it's just to get you agitated, because when you hear such message,
why would you close my account?
Your account has been blocked.
Has been blocked.
You need to
absolutely. In fact, you are getting it. So you know, that's why I call it, it's fraud. It give you fear, or anything that give you the sense of urgency. You need to do it now.
Now.
No, it's those cyber criminals, those digital armed robbers, it's their tactics. And of course, anything that gives you doubts, FUD, any message that gives you doubts, because doubt means,
You're
how
taking
can
a second opinion.
second opinion? Because while somebody calls you on the phone and is telling you, oh yeah, they're trying to, can you? And people, in fact, one of my neighbor, they called him and asked him that for his pain, and by himself,
He gave it out.
So, so such things that give you full disclosure of everything, believe me sincerely, just
so
don't
that's,
ever
slam. And then, that's it. I thought, so that's the 4.
Yes.
So that's the be careful of the sender, that's the
Yes.
S, and then the links,
link,
and then
the
the
attachment,
attachments, and then the
always
message.
check
the message.
Okay, so
so
that's
that message, so in explaining the message, is any message that introduce FUD.
Okay, so
FUD,
that's
fear,
uncertainty,
and
and
doubts.
doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So those are some of the things that you can be on the lookout for when either you get a message, when you get phishing, smishing.
Smishing.
Phishing.
So now I've learned 2 new words. Smishing is via SMS. Phishing is via your email. And then
vision is voice.
Vision is voice. Hey, indeed, it is a cyber world. So those are these 3 new things that, of course, you can look out for. And then, of course, it's talked about the things that you should also look out for in your message, Joy.
All right. You are a member of the Lagos State Cyber Security Advisory Board. Could you, take us through the role of this board, and what specific areas are you focusing on to strengthen the state's cyber defenses?
Awesome. So the mandate is very clear. So because of digital transformation, if you look at what Lagos State is leading is in the lead in terms of digital transformation revolution. So many initiatives are going on, and like I said from the beginning, there's a clear direction to make sure that the digital space of Lagos State, in terms of the digital infrastructure, in terms of the people, the process, and the technology, are up to date with international best practices, global standard. And then, of course, and beyond safeguarding those infrastructure, right, for Lagos State, then that's when the citizens comes in. Hence why I'm actually here today, in terms of capacity building, education, awareness, and and of course, and in terms of capacity building, I can tell you that Lagos State is also planning to make, because there is a deficit of cybersecurity professionals in the world. In fact, the world need, in the essence of over 4 million cybersecurity professionals. And part of what Lagos State is doing is to make sure that they build a cybersecurity capacity center to develop Lagos State citizens to be globally competitive, so that at the end of the day, of course, Lagos State citizens will be in the forefront of leading the digital transformation security all over the world, and then of course it will bring about economic buoyancy for the state as well.
So when we talk about an involved citizenry that's aware of their cyberspace, and so a lot of people oftentimes get carried away when the notice that there is a free Wi-Fi connection that they can tap into and they can join. And oftentimes they also do not realize that this is a risk in waiting. I'd like for you to please shed more light on that.
Honestly, I'm so glad. I was thinking, in fact, that even if you don't ask that question, I'll say, see, one of the easiest way to totally compromise anyone, honestly, is through public Wi-Fi, just like the name, public, because any public Wi-Fi has been evaded by these cyber criminals. So because when you connect, what they have done is there's a concept, technically speaking, called poison. They've poisoned such networks. So, and if you, which most people don't have the controls. For instance, if you don't have virtual private network, what that means is that creates like a kind of secured VPN, that's virtual private network. If you don't have any solution on your phone and you connect to public Wi-Fi, believe me sincerely, at that time, anybody can, they can capture
data.
Exactly your data, your transaction data, your username, your password in clear text, because they are, in fact, the word is even funny. It's called promiscuous mode. So because
you just allowed yourself.
So promiscuous mode, exactly.
Oh,
can you imagine when they say someone is promiscuous? So such networks are in a promiscuous mode. So that means everybody is in the open, but you can't see it with your naked eye, right? And that's the danger of public Wi-Fi. So, but you can do some activities on public Wi-Fi, if you just want to do research and you're not doing anything sensitive, anything transactional,
Personal.
fine.
So if you're maybe opening your bank app, you
shouldn't use a public Wi-Fi unless if you have that VPN. And no, you have to have that license. For instance,
because
I have, you pay for. So even if you're in the public Wi-Fi, it creates a secure tunnel for you, and nobody can see anything.
No, but a quick one. Lagos State also has public Wi-Fi in a couple of places.
Yes.
And so if you're using such a public Wi-Fi, what's the difference?
So that's why we're doing this awareness that any public Wi-Fi, don't do anything sensitive.
Okay.
But yeah, but you can research, you can, for education purposes, you want to go to Google, but anything transactional,
no matter how safe you think it is.
Absolutely. Don't do it.
Okay.
Even if I tell you stories of big people going to hotels abroad, even
Airports.
airports are, in fact, yes, someone lost, I know someone, I got a call sometime, and guess what? He lost $25 million.
Yeah, but a quick one. I noticed that even airlines or airport now, even their free Wi-Fi, they're also now coordinates. They could tell you to probably put the number of your aircraft or your airline. So that's a way of
anybody can be malicious. Believe me sincerely, because just like when you see an armed robber today, by face, it's not written. So that's, because, and don't forget where we started from now. All these our phones are like mini computers. So those guys dressed in white suit, they install all of these malicious hacking softwares on their phone now, because the phone has the capacity, the storage capacity, the processing capacity to have, and when they are hacking, you won't know. They go to even big hotels. And how? Like that man I said I lost $25 million, because so that it doesn't sound like a cliche. It was because while he was checking, he was going to do a transaction in Amsterdam, and he got to the airport to quickly respond to an email from his partners. He was in the process, they capture his username and password. They logged in and like, wow, this is a big fish. And they read his mail. Interestingly, the transaction, they were
the ID and all of that. All
so
of the
they saw the email of they saw the transaction request from him to the partners. Like, you need to send us $25 million now. He's been doing that, and they just downloaded the letter, modify the bank details to say, sorry, don't pay into this account.
Oh, they diverted the payment.
So they now send back the mail back to him as if it was coming from his partner. So from him by himself.
He transferred the money.
He got to Amsterdam and I'm like, guy, we have not seen your money. He said, what? While at the Schiphol airport, you send me an email that I should not pay to the usual because it's called packet sniffing. Because why? He used the public Wi-Fi and he didn't have a VPN and his username and password was. And then not just that, because sometimes too, which is why controls like two-factor authentication. Because when you, even your WhatsApp, it's not like, so like, I don't want to leave this interview today and we'll be thinking, wow, these are cyber criminals. No, they are not powerful. But we create room by some of our actions, and we call them vulnerabilities, weaknesses. So when you have all your social media platform, your WhatsApp, and you do not, each time anybody asks me, have you done my WhatsApp? Have you done two-factor? Most of them they say no. You have given access. So my point is, everybody should enable. It's there on go to security and privacy settings. Just set it up. Even if they try to hijack you, they would not be, because that's why it's called two-factor. If they get your password, something that something that you have, absolutely. So they won't be able to. It's as simple as that.
So we have emerging technologies like the IoTs and the AIs, and a lot of people have said there are good sides and the bad sides too. So I'd just like you to speak on the challenges and the opportunities in these emerging technologies.
Awesome. So for AI in particular, I think personally, just like everybody has alluded, that just like the internet revolutionized everything that we've done, the technology that is going to do same is AI, really. In terms of a lot of, all the different sectors, health sector, education, because today, even to Google, just look at it this way. If you're doing a research, you have to Google. And when you Google, it comes with different links, and you have to now be combining them. But today, with any of these the chatbots, it gives you comprehensive, coordinated, everything all together. So is going to do a lot of stuff, but then it is about the story of the good, the bad, and the ugly. In fact, one of the ugly parts of the AI will be deepfake. In fact, yeah, deepfake, you know, if deepfake means that it was actually a good technology that, you know, they use it in media industry for continuation of if a movie, for instance, if the actor die in the process, they can create something to make sure that, to continue such series. But now, the cyber criminals today,
They've taken advantage
of it.
Wow.
By creating a voice. You know, in fact, one company in Hong Kong just lost $25 million through deepfake. How? They created, using the AI technology to mimic the voice of the chief executive officer, to invite him into a meeting.
Wow.
You understand? And so when he joined the meeting, he saw his the CEO and everything, and the CEO was talking, gave him instruction that, oh, move this money to so account. And it was all pure AI. Believe me sincerely. So, yeah. So, and it's scary. In fact, even if
it's scary.
Even me every day is scary, because somebody even can just create an image. And don't forget that all our images are everywhere.
Yes.
We're all on social media today. So it doesn't take anybody
to just
take your picture. Sometimes even you see some people, sometimes all these nude pictures these days, you know, because all they just need to do is to use AI and
recreate that
recreate that person and say, this is your nude picture. Then it becomes your world against them.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
scary.
Now this is terrifying.
Yeah,
really.
it is.
And you know, you look at these things and you're wondering, are we sure that technology is not going to end man the way it is going? And so, are there steps, simple steps to take to stay safe online? Because again, we've talked about all of these things, but believe it or not, they are man-made.
Absolutely.
And so let's just simple steps that maybe 6 monthly, yearly, we need to take to be sure that our accounts are safe and our use of the internet is also secure for us as individuals.
All right. So basically, the truth is, like I said, the cyber criminals are not.
They're not resting.
They are not resting, but they are not that smart too.
Are you sure they are not smart?
No. Sincerely speaking, so you know there are cybersecurity hygiene practices, and when you follow those cybersecurity practices, honestly, fundamentally, you have a phone, you are connected to the digital world. The very first thing is, of course, the starting point is, you have a good password, strong password. You understand? It starts from there. And if you have a strong password is not enough. We have said it, two-factor authentication. It is not negotiable. It is a must thing you must do, right? And then the next thing is, don't use public Wi-Fi. We can loud it. And then beyond don't use public Wi-Fi as part of these practices. Even your mobile data, don't share it with people that you don't know. Quickly,
so when
your
you
mobile
do
data,
sharing,
if you do mobile data sharing, don't share with people we don't know. Somebody, they walked into a restaurant, the lady was eating, some guys just walked in, you know, restlessly, and they, you know, Nigerian, we like to help. Sorry, my data is not working. Hotspot, help us. She did. Cut long story short, they left the tanker, you know, and she got a knock. Oh, no. She got a knock on the door, and it was from the DSS that she has committed a fraud of 6 billion naira.
Oh my God.
So she was like, just like you said, oh my God, she was shocked that, hi, I've not even seen, and they said on so date, blah, 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 your internet was used to do this.
Oh God.
That was when it dawned on her that, oh.
She had shared her.
Because when you share your hotspot, if someone perform anything malicious, it is you, all the service provider, all this data that you have. It's not that they've already linked it to you. When you subscribe for data, it's your name. And they have a log that shows that, if let me not lie to you, every activities you perform on your phone. If you watch, they see those, you know, there is logs. So, and that was it. So don't share with people that you are not in your trusted corner, right? So all those that, and then when you buy on our systems, use licensed antivirus, as basic as it is. But today, when you ask people, pay 20,000 naira for 1 year on antivirus. For what?
There's free antivirus now.
Yeah, it's slavery. Why should I be giving Oyibo my money? That's what we say. They go to Sakatinombu Computer Village, and those boys, you know, you see also some big men. They will go with their big cars and they'll just give those guys, take 5,000. Just they say this antivirus is
unlimited.
It does not expire, you know. So those basic hygiene, cybersecurity hygiene, and actually helped us. And it extended to all our social media accounts. I can tell you, for everyone celebrity that social media has been hijacked, it's because there is no two-factor authentication.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
Very important.
There was MFA.
That is multi-factor authentication.
Okay, because it's the two-factor that is
it's very popular. So
that's the same as MFA.
So so in the technical word there is 2FA.
Yes.
But MFA means multi-factor because beyond you can have something that you know, which is your password, something that you have, which is your token. Then you can also have something that you are, biometrics, because now with the way, so that's why that's the extension of multi-factor.
Okay.
So
Like
some environment, in fact, in
ID.
some government places, before you can get in, you need to do
thumb printing.
Because even a couple of apps are also now asking that you do your fingerprint or your face ID to get into.
Some will say, open your mouth. Open your mouth.
Just to be sure.
To create more adaptive security mechanisms.
So that at least if AI may necessarily not get that
you understand?
done.
So because of the sophistication, so that's why the multi-factor authentication is actually very important.
So I want you to still talk about the awareness, especially for young people.
Yeah.
As a member of the board, are there initiatives in line to maybe take this awareness to the schools?
Yeah.
You know, to educate them about cybersecurity.
Awesome. So, the Cybersecurity Advisory Board was just inaugurated this year. So there is a big plan on capacity building, and in that capacity building is actually broken into two. There's the education part and there's the awareness part. So, and of course, there's so many initiatives like Operation Secure Lagos. So in the Operation Secure Lagos, of course, it's not just even the young people. All the age category. In fact, this program, I think probably I will be in one of the stations tomorrow speaking Yoruba to see that all of these, yes, why we're targeting the young people. We
also need to look at the grassroots.
Because the grassroots people too are getting it.
Right.
One, the plumbers, all of them, so that you can speak. So Lagos State is actually working very hard, bringing all of this initiative that everyone within the spheres is covered, speaking their language. It will come in different, pidgin,
just to ensure that everybody's aware.
For inclusiveness. Yeah, it's not.
Let's quickly talk about updates.
Okay.
You also have issues when it comes to software updates. And so when you're updating or when you get a prompt to either schedule an update or update, what also are you looking out for in that regard?
Yeah, that's a very technical and very because update your blessing. So update comes. You still need to be, because for instance, if you run an Android machine, phone for instance, if you set up or install automatically, for me, I don't do that.
Sorry.
Because when
you don't do that.
I don't do automatic updates.
Okay, yeah.
You do manual.
So I wait to say, okay, it's prompting me. There is a prompt.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be sure of that prompt, because you need to be sure. Because sometimes you are browsing through the internet, you just see, it will tell you, oh, this free software, we noticed some errors on your hard drive. Click on this now. Believe me sincerely, it can, so point is, always be sure of the source of the prompting, which is why I don't totally encourage automatic updates. So that when you have that prompt, you'll be able to look at your phone and say, okay, where is this prompt coming from? Is it coming from, your iOS? Is it coming from Android platform? Those things are basic. Just like, like we lock when you are building a house today, the truth is, you lock your door. So see, that's the way I want you to see the cyberspace, so that we don't think, maybe this thing is too difficult. No, you have a key to your room, you lock it. But what we do in the cyberspace, we just open the door. Even sometimes people come to your house when it is dark in the night. If they don't knock, somebody can just open your door.
Right.
The same way. So which is why that's what I'm trying to say. For automatic updates, I said no. make sure so that when you have that prompt, you'll be able to say, okay, oh, it's something, it's a good prompt from the right source, and then you can then, or a bad prompt.
Does this also affect bank apps? Because bank apps also sometimes they pop up and you say, you know, there's a need to upgrade or there's a need to
always check.
Always check.
Always check. In fact, in cybersecurity, there is a slogan: trust, but always verify.
Okay.
Always verify. Whatever prompt, trust it, but verify. Check, okay, oh, this prompt, you understand? Because sometimes, too, the prompt can be malicious.
Right.
Always use that principle. Trust, but verify.
Verify. Okay.
Just final question. So for small and medium-sized enterprises, what advice do you have for them to protect their digital assets?
All right, the same thing, everything we have been saying, because most of the controls that we have been saying, it's actually applicable to small business, because for small business too today, you know, they're on social media trying to protect their businesses. They use Instagram, they use Facebook. You know, in fact, everybody has the digital footprints today. Right. You know, because if I want to, and guess what? It's scary if I say this. If someone wants to profile you, unlike if I want to profile anybody before, I have to do a lot of work. But today, profiling is very easy because people have digital footprint. If I want to know about your professional life, I'll first go to your LinkedIn to see, oh, what is his professional outlook. If I want to know about your family life, I go to your Facebook. If I want to know about your personal life, how you will live them, I go to your what? Your Instagram. And then, if I want to size up your political view, I go to where? X. So for small businesses too, those guys, they do all of that. In fact, sometimes it's so scary that when they want to know all these secret questions, because when you're filling some form, it asks you
your secret question.
all those secret questions. Like, do you know what they do now? They plan themselves that. So for small businesses, because they come and someone is asking, what's your favorite food? What they're doing reconnaissance attack on you. Because you say your favorite food, what's your favorite pet? And people, you know, so when people start to ask you some funny questions,
you have to be careful.
You have to be careful, because what they're doing is they're doing information gathering on, so that when they want to hijack your account, they know
what to do.
Exactly. So for small businesses, because you've seen small businesses whereby their account gets hacked and they're wondering how. You understand?
Okay, before we allow you go this morning, Dr. Obadare, quickly, backups are also very important. What's the role of backups, and how often should you back up your data?
Yes, so, and I'm going to answer it for individual, for corporates, and, you know, so backup, it's very important, because data is the new oil. You know, imagine, you know, these days, if you even lose your phone numbers on your phone, you know, just imagine that. Not talk of when you have, you know, financial data, you have business data, you know. So I think, honestly, for me, I back up. In fact, my backup is daily, because, you know, of course, we use your cloud providers to make sure that everything, in case, if anything goes wrong, you can automatically retrieve back all of those things. But then, the technicality about backup also is in case of ransomware. You understand? Because so that means if you're doing automatic backup too, if there's a ransomware, there's a tendency that the backup to, you understand? So you need to be able to play safe when you're backing up as well, so that in case if anything goes wrong to the primary, your backup is actually still as safe. But believe me, I think the best way to do backup today is actually using most of the well-known cloud providers for individuals. And then, of course, for corporations, there are different means of engaging. They use cloud, they use on-prem, you know, for their cloud, for their backup strategies as well. But backup is something that is very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to leave this conversation here this morning. Thank you so much, Dr. Obadare Peter Adewale, founder and CVO, that is the Chief Visionary Officer, Digital Encode Limited. Is also a member of the Lagos State Cybersecurity Advisory Board. Thank you again for finding time to be here on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure you've learned one or two new things. I sure have learned. I'm sure Joy has also learned.
Yes, slam it.
See, she has her book all written. We'll take a quick break. The conversation returns shortly.